What's up, guys? Corn02 here with another edition of What's New. The Royal Rumble pay-per-view just went off the air about an hour or two ago, and I'm going to talk about the 2014 Royal Rumble. I'm gonna before I start, I'm gonna try not to literally bury this pay-per-view because there was some good things on this pay-per-view. I'm not gonna say the entire thing was just garbage. There were some decent things on this pay-per-view. But there's a lot. Let's be warned. There's a lot of things that if you haven't seen it, that you're probably going to be disappointed about. I'm just putting that out there right now. But we're going to kick off this review with the kickoff show before the pay per view even started. An hour beforehand, the kickoff show started, and it was the guests were Shawn Michaels, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and Ric Flair, all former Royal Rumble winners, talking about the Royal Rumble pay-per-view and who they think will win the whole thing tonight. So that was pretty cool to see all those guys. Later on, we had the kickoff match, which was the Rhodes Brothers, or the Brotherhood, or whatever you want to call them, Cody Rhodes and Goldust, defending the WWE Tag Team Championships against the New Age Outlaws, Badass Billy Gunn, and Road Dogg Jesse James, in a match that was actually really good. Probably better than their SmackDown matchup. Probably better than the match they had on Raw. It's really good matchup. Really solid. Not gonna say it was a 5-star match, but it was fairly decent. The surprise in this matchup was the fact that the New Age Outlaws actually won the WWE Tag Team Championships. They defeated the Rhodes Brothers, which was a very big surprise to me, and a pretty good pop from the crowd. The crowd was very excited to see the New Age Outlaws become tag team champions in this era of wrestling. So that's pretty cool for those guys. Really happy to see those guys, and we're going to see a lot more of the New Age Outlaws, hopefully. Yeah, it's a kickoff show. Then we get into the actual pay-per-view, and it kicks off with a match that at first, it was a match that I really didn't really want to see at the Royal Rumble. But, I mean, it ended up being literally the best match on the card tonight. Better than anything else on this card. And it was Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt. Amazing match. The match started off kind of slow. It started off with Daniel Bryan beating the hell out of Bray Wyatt, but then it kicked up. A lot of cool spots. It was one time where Daniel Bryan was going for, I thought he was going for like his running knee on the apron, but he caught Bray Wyatt with the DDT. The crowd was into it. The guest chants was on point. Everything was amazing about that matchup. But towards the end, Daniel Bryan went for his patented suicide dive, but he got caught into the Sister Abigail, which was just an amazing counter, and he hit the Sister Abigail into the barricade. Got Daniel Bryan back in the ring, hit the Sister Abigail again. 1, 2, 3. Bray Wyatt wins, defeating Daniel Bryan. Awesome match, amazing match. If there's any match on this card that you want to go back and watch, it has to be that one. That one and the kickoff show. But after this, the pay-per-view kind of goes downhill from here. Next match on the card is the Big Show versus the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Match that I was very excited for. I wanted to see it. I mean, I'd rather Brock Lesnar fight anybody else, but I mean, it's the Big Show. Big Show's a good wrestler. They've had matches in the past, so it's gonna have to be a solid matchup. I was excited. I wanted to see something on the caliber of Brock Lesnar versus either John Cena or CM Punk, because both of those matches were pretty good matches. I like both of those, and I thought this was going to be the same one. But man, was I and probably the crowd and people at home who were watching were disappointed in what happened, what transpired in that matchup. This match was about 10 minutes. I mean, it's really bad to call a Brock Lesnar match a filler match, but this was a filler match. I mean, literally, this is the whole match. I want to tell you the whole match right here. Brock Lesnar comes out, attacks Big Show before the bell even rings, beats the living hell out of him with a chair for like 3 to 5 minutes. Big Show gets a counter, knockout punch. Somehow Brock Lesnar gets back up, hits the F5, 1, 2, 3. He pins him. That's the end of the match. That's right there. That's like 7 minutes right there. And the next 3 to 4 minutes is Brock Lesnar beating the living hell out of Big Show with a chair. That's it. That's the whole thing. If I'm lying, you think I'm lying, go back and watch it. 10 minutes of that. I mean, not saying that it was terrible, but I really expected more. I didn't expect Big Show to literally just get buried by Brock Lesnar, but whatever. Anyway, that's like I was like okay, whatever. Got the championship matchup in the Royal Rumble, which I'm very excited for. But yeah, man, that match, not the best Brock Lesnar match. Yeah. So yeah, Brock wins, and I guess he goes on to fight whoever at WrestleMania. Next, we have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match between Randy Orton and John Cena, a match that was called by the WWE the biggest rematch of all time. But I like to call it the biggest rematch of all time. Basically because this is exactly what it was. And the fans were not into this match one bit. I mean, the fans buried this matchup. They were in there chanting JBL, chanting Daniel Bryan. That was the not yes chants, boring chants. Thinking any kind of like negatory chant that you could think of, they were chanting it. The fans didn't give a damn about this match. They just wanted it to be over. And the thing is, this match wasn't a bad match. It was a solid matchup, but since we've seen it so many times, just nobody cared. Nobody cared about this match. I mean, we've seen it so many times in the past. Even when they put on a pretty good matches, it's hard for the fans to get into it because it's not nothing fresh. We want to see fresh stuff, and they keep giving us the same thing. Randy Orton and John Cena are great competitors. They're amazing guys. Both the guys are very respected competitors, but we don't want to see them face each other anymore. And that's what we got here tonight. Again, so literally the fans buried the matchup. They didn't care what they were doing. They're doing like it was some cool stuff in there, like Randy Orton hitting the AA and John Cena hitting the RKO. Kind of reminded me a lot of this felt like like the John Cena Rock 2 match where they kicked out of like a whole bunch of finishers. But I mean, it was a solid matchup. It all ended when Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family showed up and distracted John Cena, which led to an RKO by Randy Orton. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton is still your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. After the matchup, the Wyatt family goes in there and destroys. They go in there and destroy John Cena. And so I guess it's going to lead to an Elimination Chamber matchup or a WrestleMania matchup between the Wyatts and John Cena, which is whatever, I guess. Next we had it was the time for the meat of the pay-per-view, what everybody came to see, what we all cared about, why we enjoy this Royal Rumble pay-per-views, the 30-man over-the-top Royal Rumble, which we all started with. We all know that CM Punk was number one. It started off with CM Punk and number two, Seth Rollins. A lot of cool. It was cool stuff this matchup, but at the same time, there was a lot of negative stuff as well. And the negative stuff overpowered the good that happened in this matchup. I mean, first thing wrong with this matchup with this Royal Rumble is that a lot of people like watching the Royal Rumble to see surprise entrants. You want to see those superstars from the past, those legends come back and get to shine for one more time. But that didn't happen this year. Instead we got El Torito in there for some reason, which was alright, I guess. JBL, who was in there for literally 2 seconds, he took off his dress coat and then he took an outside bump out of the ring. That was it. Kevin Nash came back again. Didn't do anything. Did less than he did in his first Royal Rumble he was in as Diesel. Was in there for 5 minutes and he got eliminated by Roman Reigns in a crappy over-the-top bump. Please, WWE, don't bring Kevin Nash back in a Royal Rumble again. Please don't do that. There was also NXT star Alexander Rusev, who was pretty cool to see in there. I think that's about it. And there's all the surprise entrances right there. But let me talk about some of the good stuff that happened in the matchup. Two things. One thing being Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston was once again an amazing to see. Kofi Kingston just takes that excitement level up to another level once again this year when as far as his elimination saves. Alexander Rusev gets mad and attacks attacks Kofi Kingston, beats him up, puts him on the barricade, and apparently he was still in there. So what Kofi did is actually build up enough momentum on the barricade to jump all the way to the apron, which was just awesome. And there was the other spot where he was hanging from the bottom rope, and Jack Swagger was trying to eliminate him, and somehow he still held on and hit Jack Swagger in the head with the boot and got back in. But eventually he got eliminated, so that was, that sucked. But the whole another thing, number two, Roman Reigns with a beast. He broke the all-time record for eliminations at the Royal Rumble. Breaking Kane's record was pretty awesome to see. But he eliminated 12. Kane eliminated 11 people beforehand, and tonight Roman Reigns eliminated 12, which was awesome. So he was amazing in this matchup. He eliminated his partners. He eliminated so many guys in this thing. It was crazy. But it all ended up being between the number one entrant, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Batista, and Sheamus. Oh, yeah, Sheamus also returned tonight, which was cool to really see Sheamus back in the fold of things. But CM Punk's eliminated by Kane. Kane came back and chokeslammed CM Punk through a table, so CM Punk's eliminated. Then I think Roman Reigns or Batista eliminated Sheamus. And then it came down to Roman Reigns and Batista. And the fans was so behind Roman Reigns because they did not want him in this matchup. They did not want Batista in this match. They did not want to see Batista win this Royal Rumble. But what does WWE do? They don't listen to the fans once again, and they eliminate Roman Reigns, and Batista wins the whole thing. I wouldn't be so mad about this, but this makes me more mad about this year. Makes me more mad about the Royal Rumble than last year. I mean, when John Cena won. I mean, at least John Cena's there all the time. Then you have a guy like Batista who comes back literally a week ago and wins the whole thing. Where you have all these guys, these Daniel Bryans, these Roman Reigns, these Biggie Langstons, all these guys who worked their ass off the entire year, the main event WrestleMania, and they get nothing for it. To a guy who just comes back and he gets everything within seconds just because he has name value. It sucks. It really does suck, and I'm very disappointed in how the direction that this matchup went to with the decision of Batista winning the Royal Rumble, and the fact that Daniel Bryan wasn't even in the Royal Rumble to even get an opportunity to try to win it really sucked as well. I don't know. It's terrible. It was just a really terrible call by WWE to allow Batista, a guy who doesn't even need this win. He could have very well went on to WrestleMania in another big matchup, and they could have gave this to a new up-and-comer trying to make a star, but they decided to once again put the future to the side for the past and for the past, just to give them another shine, which is dumb. I'm not saying that Daniel Bryan had to win, but he should have been in the matchup. And we all know that Roman Reigns or somebody else should have won that matchup. I would have been happy even if Sheamus would have won. But Batista wins, and another predictable Royal Rumble in the books. And I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I'm just disappointed about the whole thing. Something else could have happened. But anyway, guys, that's the Royal Rumble 2014. Did you like the pay-per-view, or do you think it was kind of lackluster like myself? Let me know below in the comments. Rate, comment, subscribe if you're not. And stay gold, everybody. Hopefully something happens tomorrow night that'll change this whole road to WrestleMania around for the better. But until then, stay gold. Peace.